It's finally here. Spider-Man Brand New Day is finally here. I saw it yesterday on opening day at one of the first showings. I was not wasting any time. I was going to see this movie the moment it hit that screen. Of course, I was excited for this movie. Spider-Man is my favourite fictional character of all time, and I was very confident that this movie would be good. I like that this movie is distancing itself from the original Tom Holland trilogy, as well as Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire's versions of the character, because it's more street level. And we're going into this phase now where nobody knows who he is, even his girlfriend and his best friend. Nobody knows that he's Spider-Man. He's all on his own. And I was really interested to see how he'd navigate the world now. So after seeing it yesterday, what do I think? Is this another amazing Spider-Man movie? Yeah, of course it is. Now, would I say it's my favourite Tom Holland Spider-Man movie? Yeah, I'm a bit unsure about that. Give me a couple of days to think about that. My favourite's always been Homecoming, and then No Way Home, then Far From Home. It's definitely better than Far From Home and No Way Home. The reason why I love this movie so much is because it balances a lot of things. There are about 2 or 3 plot lines in this movie, but I thought it balanced them all really, really well. The main one is obviously about Peter Parker dealing with the fact that he's lonely now. And what I really appreciated is that it doesn't forget the ending of No Way Home. It remembers that, yeah, he's alone. He could just easily move on from his ex-girlfriend and his friend. But he can't do that. He's so desperate to know if they still remember him in any way, shape or form. And unfortunately, they don't remember him. But what I really appreciated is that he never gives up on them. And that's very in line with Spider-Man's character. Whether it's a personal problem or a big world-ending threat, he never gives up. And he doesn't give up on MJ and Ned. He still tries to see, okay, if they don't remember me, that's fine. But can I still be friends with them? Can we restart maybe? And it just led to some really nice interactions between the characters. Some really emotional ones as well. There's one scene where a character says to Peter, I'm sorry, I don't remember anything. I'm really sorry. I don't know who you are. And it was really sad just knowing that, okay, well, it's over. He's got to restart. That was really, really sad. Probably one of the most saddest scenes of the Spider-Man movie for me. However, I will say I didn't really like the ending to this plot line. It's literally the final scene where it ends. And it sets itself up for something different in the next movie. And I just don't really know how to feel about that. I didn't like the idea before this movie came out. And I certainly didn't like the way it was handled at the end of this movie. So we shall see where it goes in the next Spider-Man film. Then after this, we have the other plot line where Peter's DNA is mutating and his powers are going all over the place. He's really out of control. And I just really loved the direction they took with this plot line. It's an obvious metaphor for growing up, learning how to deal with it, and everyone is different, and you have to embrace how different you are. And it connected to the main villain of this movie very well, who I'm not going to say for obvious reasons because they've kept it hidden in the trailers. I don't want to spoil it for you. But what I will say is that the villain of this movie is basically Peter Parker, but she goes about her choices in a different way. And of course, despite her being a big world-ending threat, Spider-Man is still someone who will try and get close to her and say, look, it's okay, like, you can embrace this. Just because you're different doesn't mean you're a really bad person. I know what you've been through, because they've been through similar pain, unfortunately. And I just really love the direction that they went through with that plot line, and I'm very, very interested to see where they take this new character in the future. We know that this character is going to be in a future MCU movie, so I'm very, very interested to see what they do with her. But the main thing that I really appreciated about this movie, and it's something that's prevalent in not a lot of movies, especially a lot of superhero movies, not just MCU, and that is connectivity and making this feel like it's part of a grander universe. This is not just the most Spider-Man story ever. It's probably the most comic book movie ever. And that is because this movie acknowledges that this is part of a big universe. Usually with the MCU, it's one story. It focuses on a few characters, even if there's a big world-ending event. No one comes in to stop them or help them out. It's just their story. And if you think about it for a while, you think, okay, this is happening. Why don't you just ask this character for help? Why don't you just go to this character? It happens in pretty much every single MCU movie. But it doesn't happen in this one. This movie is not afraid to say, this is part of a grander universe. There's characters in here that can help Spider-Man with different things. It acknowledges that. What's that? This guy's DNA is mutating. You go to Bruce Banner. Perfect character to go to in a situation like that. And another thing that I really appreciated is that Spider-Man is working with the authorities in this movie. That is something we have not seen Spider-Man do properly, other than maybe The Amazing Spider-Man 2, which is strange to say that I'm praising that movie. But it really works in this movie. He's working with police, he's working alongside Detective DeWolf, who is a great addition to this movie. Great that this character is finally in the MCU. It was just really nice to see that, an aspect to the character that we don't really see. And now that this universe actually feels bigger in this movie, we get a lot of characters which just them appearing was a positive on their own for me, especially Michael Mando as Scorpion. He's finally playing the character after he was teased almost 9 years ago now in Homecoming, and he knocks it out of the park. He's not in the movie as much as I thought he'd be, but he did a great job with the couple scenes that he needed to be in. You also have other characters from the MCU who I'm not going to say because they've not been teased in any trailers or anything. What I can say, Bruce Banner is in this movie, and he is returning with Savage Hulk. I cannot tell you how happy I was when I saw the second trailer for this movie and I saw the big green man himself smashing into a building, demolishing it and catching Spider-Man. That was so cool in this movie, and the grin I had in the movie theatre, honestly, you would have been smiling with me. And then, of course, you also have Frank Castle, aka the Punisher, in this movie. And what I will say is that I was very concerned when I heard he was in this movie. I didn't want them to dumb him down. And while, of course, he is dumbed down a little bit, it's not too much. His gritty aspects are still there, still prevalent. He will still kill someone if they step out of line a little bit. So I'm glad they kept that aspect of the character. But I did like that they made him a little bit more humorous in this movie, but not too humorous. He still feels like he's a tragic person, and I absolutely loved his relationship with Spider-Man. They felt like brothers who say they don't like each other, but deep down they still do really love each other. They bicker all the time, but even through their bickering, they do still fully respect each other. Really, I had no issue with any of the character moments in this movie, or the plot. I think it balanced it really, really well, which is something I can't say for a lot of other Spider-Man movies, where a lot of plot lines. But one thing that I also absolutely loved about this movie was the action. Now, if you didn't know, Jackie Chan's stunt team was part of this movie, and you can tell because the fight with the hand specifically, easily one of the best MCU action scenes, top 10, easily. The choreography was brilliant, the camera work was brilliant, and there's one moment towards the end that was so heroic, made me want to get out of my chair and pump my fist in the air and clap for Spider-Man. It was just directed so well, and the other action scenes were really good in this movie as well. The Hulk fight I love because it's just Spider-Man in this building getting absolutely battered, and little spoiler, but Punisher's in this fight as well. And I really loved his reactions to Hulk in this movie. They were really, really funny. And then there's also the opening action chase with a tank going through New York City. Spider-Man and Punisher have to try and stop it. That was really well done as well. And practical for the most part, apparently. And really, the directing as a whole was really, really strong. I really liked the cinematography in this movie. While, of course, there is still an overuse of CGI and green screen, something that it just seems the MCU is going to continue to do. I get that you need CGI for these movies, but please just dumb it down a little bit, I beg of you. So there are some shots that do look a bit fake. But when there are some real locations in the mix, this movie does look really, really nice. There's some really nice uses of shadows to add some depth to some shots. And I really do like the way that they use the sun in this movie. When there's a sunset or a sunrise, there's a nice orange hue to the movie. It was really, really nice to see. And I also think the swinging scenes are some of the best swinging scenes we have ever had in a Spider-Man movie. Probably the best. And what I really appreciated was that it shows the roughness of it. Usually when you see a Spider-Man movie and you see him swinging, it looks really clean. It looks like he's controlling it well. But what I liked is that they put the camera in some weird places. Sometimes it's behind his shoulder. Sometimes it's like the back of his head. Maybe you can see like the sky and stuff just to the side of his head. Sometimes, I mean, you see that shot in the trailer where it's behind his mask and you can see his eye. And you can hear the wind going. The camera's shaking all over the place. It really just feels so hard to control. Added on to this brilliant direction, you also have Michael Giacchino's excellent theme song. They do a little something different with the main Spider-Man theme in this movie. Really, really like that. Some really emotional pieces. Michael Giacchino, he's the best in the game when it comes to movie music, I'd say. And then finally, you have the performances, which, of course, are great. Tom Holland as Peter Parker, I don't really need to say anything more than that, but, you know, he's amazing. He's probably the most accurate Peter Parker we have ever had in a movie. And this is coming from someone who says Toby is his favourite Spider-Man. But he's not a very accurate Spider-Man. Tom Holland embraces Peter Parker and Spider-Man so well. Zendaya's back again, and of course her and Tom Holland had excellent chemistry. I mean, and I hope they would, because they are dating, possibly married in real life, so yeah. Jacob Batalon as Ned, still hilarious as ever. He's easily one of the funniest characters in the MCU. So much personality, really likeable. And John Bernthal as the Punisher. He is the Punisher, in my eyes. No one else can play him this well. And then you also have the newcomers like Tramell, Tillman and Sadie Sink, who are both really great in this movie. Sadie Sink especially, not going to say who she is again, but she portrayed the character perfectly. That's all I'll say. So in conclusion, I thought Spider-Man Brand New Day was another excellent installment to Tom Holland's Spider-Man franchise. This has a great emotional story about love, moving on, learning how to cope with grief. It's also helmed by some amazing action sequences, brilliant cinematography, amazing acting, and some really, really good aspects as Spider-Man, which are not in a lot of these movies. Stuff that I really want to see more of in future Spider-Man movies. This is probably the most Spider-Man film of the lot. Even though Spider-Man 2 is easily my favourite live-action Spider-Man movie, this one just felt to a T, like a Spider-Man comic, and that's something that I really appreciated. So yeah, I'm really excited to see where they take the character after this. Tom Holland, once again, you've done it. And yeah, I'm just so happy. That's all I can say. I am so relieved that this movie is good. So I'm going to give Spider-Man Brand New Day a 9.5 out of 10. And there we go, people. That is the end of this review. If you have seen Spider-Man Brand New Day, do let me know your thoughts on it. Did you like it? Did you not? Let me know. But I hope you all enjoyed this video, guys. Have an amazing day, and see you later.